So tomorrow you're going to be getting on Smart Notebook software to create your interactive map. When you get on, you will see that you have a template already set up for you. This is just a basic tutorial to make sure that you were able to do what was on your checklist. So the first thing that was on your checklist was for you to be able to change the color, font, and size of text. If you notice when you open up your notebook, you have your tabs over here on the left hand side, and when I come over here and click on my page, that toolbar doesn't go away. Some of your screen resolutions are set so that this will actually be in the way of your page. So to make your toolbar collapse, you're going to come down to the bottom and click Auto Hide. When you click Auto Hide, that's telling the software that anytime you're on your workspace on your page, when you click it, it needs to automatically hide those toolbars. So now we're good to go. The easiest way to add text to your page is to just simply click somewhere on the page and start typing. When you do that, you get your text box. Now, I can change the color, font, and size of the text a few different ways. I can type it and then highlight it within my text box and use my drop down menu here. Let's change it to one that's really different. And I can change the size, the color, I can bold it and underline it, I can center it, and I can add bullets and all that kind of stuff. Alright, I just clicked out of it, so now here's my text. If I click back on my text, I now get my object selection box. This will let me spin. This will let me resize. While that's highlighted, while the text is in that box, I can also use my drop down arrow and click on Properties, and now I have those same options that I had when it was in the text box. To change the color of it, that is called line style because letters are made up of lines. So I click line style and now I can go in and change the color as well. So that's how you change the color, font, and size of text. How to add a shape and resize it. Notice here that to move my text, and this is to move anything on your page, you can hover your mouse over it, click it, and then drag it where you want to go. Your Shapes tool is up here on the toolbar. It looks like an orange square and a blue circle. So I'm going to click my shape, and I have all of these different shapes that I can choose from. So I'm just going to pick one. When I put my cursor back onto my page, you see that I have the crosshairs. When I click with my mouse and drag, it's going to make my shape. This is now an object on my page. Notice that I still have the crosshairs. So if I try to click somewhere else on the page, it's not going to do anything but make more and more trapezoids. So if I want to get out of that, I need to go back up and click my black arrow, which I told you today is called your selection tool. I can do the same thing with shapes that I can do with text. I can click on it and I can spin it with the green radio handle. I can resize it with the white. I can also click my drop down menu and go to Properties, and I can fill it with where are my colors? There we go. Sometimes they don't show up. If you just click a different tab, it'll get you what you need. Your fill effects would fill the whole object, and you can do a solid color. Gradient fill bleeds it from one color into another color. Pattern fill lets you change the patterns that are inside of it. And image fill, we're not going to play with that. I like the gradient fill. I think you can make things really pretty doing that. So let's see. Now we need to create a new page. There's two ways that you can, well actually three ways you can create a new page. You can simply click your next arrow and it'll take you to a new page. You can click the Add Page button on the top toolbar, or you can click the Add Page button on your side toolbar. If you click your Pages tab, you see all the pages that are in your presentation. Let's say I need page 4 to be where page 2 is. I can click on page 4 and I can drag it up so I can rearrange my pages. I showed you all how to add clip art from a website earlier today. Let me go back and show you that again. To do that, you need to minimize Smart Notebook, open up an internet browser, and type whatever it is that a picture that you want. So we're doing North Carolina, and you're going to have to bring in a map. So let's search for map of North Carolina. Click your images. This one looks like a fun one, so I'm going to click on the image, hover my mouse over it when it comes up into the menu, right click, copy image. I'm going to go back to my Smart Notebook, and anywhere on this page I'm going to right click and then click paste. So here is my map. I can then resize it, make it bigger if I need to. I can put it where I need to on the page. Something that was not on your checklist that I'm going to add is called locking. Locking will keep your pictures on the page where you put them, and so no matter if you accidentally click on it, you can't delete it, you can't move it. So with my picture highlighted, I'm going to use my drop down arrow. I'm going to go down to locking, and I'm going to lock it in place. That means that I can click on this, I can try to move it, it's not going anywhere. Alright, so that's locking. If you accidentally lock something and you need to change it, you can right click on it and then unlock, and that'll change it back for you. So let's say that I want this picture, if I click on it, to take me to ECU's website. So I'm going to link this picture to a website. Once again, with the picture selected, I have my box around it. I'm going to use my drop down menu and I'm going to click link. I can link to a web page, to another page in the file, to a file on the computer, or to an attachment, but we're going to link it to a web page, and we're going to link it to www.ecu.edu. That's ECU's website. I can choose to link it by a corner icon or an object. I'll show you both. A corner object puts a globe down in the corner, so when you click on it, it opens up. Should. Okay, lots of fun stuff. Well, it should link us straight to ecu.edu. I don't know why this stuff is coming up. If I want to click for or link it to the whole object, I would click OK, and then I could click anywhere on the object and it should take me to ecu.edu, but for some reason the filter is catching that. I'm not sure why. Let's say that I wanted to link this instead not to a website but to another page in the file. Here are my 4 pages in my file. So let's link it to my my shapes page. I link it. Again, I can choose either corner icon or object. I click OK. So now when I click this, it's going to take me to the page that I linked it to in my notebook presentation. When you put an object on the page in a notebook, whatever you put on last is on top. So since this was my very first object, this one is actually on the bottom. So all of these other shapes can go on top of my big shape. If I need to bring my big shape to the front because I want to hide all my little shapes behind it, I can select it, drop down menu and order, and then I'm going to send it all the way, oh, it was in the back, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it all the way to the front. And so now when I move this, ta-da, there's my little trapezoids. So that's a fun little trick with Smart Notebook, that you can hide things. This is called layering. You can hide things behind each other. My next cool trick is animations. This was on your checklist as well. To animate an object means when I click on it, I want it to do something. So the way that I animate is I select my object. I have the blue box around it. I click my drop down menu, and I'm going to go back to Properties. In Properties, you see the third tab down is called Object Animation. So we're going to click on Object Animation. And then I have these different animations that I can do. I can make it fade in or out. I can make it flip on its axis. I can fly in and out. It can shrink and grow or spin. Shrink and grow is fun, so we'll do shrink and grow. We want normal speed when it's clicked and no repeats. So as soon as that's set, I don't have to click save or anything. It automatically saves it, so I can just click back on my page somewhere. And now when I click my object, it's going to shrink and grow. So that's how you animate. Properties tab, Object Animation. Some more cool tools for you to use are going to be in your Gallery tab. That's your picture frame. Gallery Essentials. This is where all of your pictures and clip art are. So let's search for North Carolina and see what's in here. When you search here, you have some maps that you can use. There's a picture of a hurricane coming. You should have the lesson activity toolkit within this My Content or within your gallery folder, so I may have to work on that. If I can find it and get it in here, I'll do another short tutorial on that. Last thing is grouping objects. So let's say that you need everything to be grouped together so you can move it all at one time. Or let's say that, let's go ahead and send this to the back. So let's say that we want this picture to stay exactly like that. And so when I move one, I move all of them. We're going to do what's called a marquee highlight. And that is just starting your cursor somewhere outside of your objects, clicking, and dragging over all of them so that all of them are selected at once. Once we've done that, we can use our drop-down menu, grouping, group. So now all four of those objects are now one object. And if I move one, I move all of them. If you made a mistake and you need to ungroup them, you do the same process. Drop down menu, grouping, ungroup. And now they're all separate. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you all have a great time playing and experimenting with Smart Notebook.